the last time we were on the mic together?
This has been like probably since a Crenny episode or a Movie Babies episode.
Oh, Movie Babies, definitely a Movie Babies. But
Yeah.
in regards to Trailer Wars, probably, I think we recorded the thing like after one of the awards.
Yes.
Like
yes.
a awards recap
Exactly.
thing.
Who wore it best and whatnot.
Wore it
Yeah.
best.
It's
Do you
been a
remember
little
who
while.
wore it best?
Probably West or Jed. Those guys were always wearing it best.
Yeah, I guess Jed probably was.
I'm Sean Meyer.
That's probably good information. My name's Chris Patton.
We invented this little thing called Trailer Wars with some buddies of ours. 2005, 2006.
Well, I believe it was 10 years ago, hence why we're having this conversation.
Okay, so 2009.
I'm going to go 2009. We want to talk about some stuff, but maybe we should give just like a TLDR version. If you're clicking play and you're like, well, I don't want to listen to all 38 minutes of this or whatever.
Oh, that's a real good estimate.
So I'm going to drag it to 38 minutes now, no matter what.
With bird sounds.
Why are we recording ourselves speaking right now?
Yeah, that's a great question I often ask myself. Similar to how the whole event took place initially, thinking that anybody would want to hear or see anything you do, we started this thing called Trailer Wars 10 years ago, and to honor its death or birth or however you want to look at it.
I guess it's a birth because
Let's
it's
go
10
birth.
years since its birth.
Yeah.
It has since died, but we're still celebrating the birth.
Yeah.
We do that. Christmas is that.
We're
so
here
we're
on
fine.
Elvis's birthday. We're here on David Bowie's birthday, January 8th, recording the announcement that there will be a anniversary celebration of Trailer Wars for its 10th anniversary.
Yeah. And what is that celebration going to consist of?
A anniversary round of Trailer Wars as anybody who's participated knew it.
So basically, this is just a Trailer Wars.
Yeah. It's
Where you make trailers and you get together and vote or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one will have a theme.
Yeah,
It
what's
will-
that theme going to be?
How do we want to phrase this?
I think my favorite way to phrase it was unproduced ideas.
yeah.
Meaning, like, if you were a Trailer Wars participant once or 100 times, if you had an idea that never was made during the 50 editions, if you got that in your back pocket or in your idea book, time to bust that out now.
Yeah, it's like a banked idea. It's the one that got away.
Yes, one that got away is another good. And if you don't have one that got away, then just, you know what? No one's going to ask any questions. All I care about is that it's new and it's for Trailer Wars and that it's appropriately timed and submitted.
Yeah, we're back on that don't ask, don't tell Trailer Wars policy.
I might ask.
Well, okay. But you can lie.
I could tell, too. We don't know. I guarantee that no one will listen to this that doesn't already know this, realistically. But, just in case, what are we doing here? We have a theme. This time the theme is, as we said, idea that got away, or unproduced idea, your big idea that's never been made.
You're going to make that into a 3-minute or under trailer. Mm-hmm. Movie trailer. Not a short film, not a sketch, not a long film.
And we say that realizing that the definition of what constitutes a trailer is very loose, and some trailers feel like short films or scenes. But, there's a few things you really should do if you're making a trailer. So our idea is that you would do that, bring it on a DVD to the event on April 10th, hand it to us, please RSVP it just in an email to say, like, here's my name, here's the name of my thing. That's it. We're not going to watch it beforehand.
No, nobody's going to judge it. Nobody's going to say this is good enough or not good enough. It's just part of the program. If you made it, you're a trailer warrior. Congratulations. You're one of the grunts like us. And then we get to kick back and just watch it.
Yep.
So,
And there's no submission fee.
No.
I think it's going to be probably $2 to get in, just so they let us do it. That is
probably
just
will
so
be.
they let us in the building. But
Yeah.
that's even we've felt that kicking and screaming even.
the Pickford Film Center has been a good supporter of Trailer Wars in that for a long time they let us just hand them a bucket of donations at the end of the night that
Yes.
sometimes had $100 in it. Sometimes it had 5 cents and a couple of kernels of popcorn in it. But at one point they decided that to keep their business operational and to still throw us a bone with these every once in a while Wednesday night, we knock out one of their screenings to do this. They just decided to charge $2. I imagine this 10th anniversary will be, again, probably $2. I
Right.
don't think inflation has risen the price of Trailer Wars.
And I think some of that on their part was probably for our benefit too, because we were shaking people down for money, and I think there were this way there was like a flat amount that we were trying to hit before. This way, it's like, well, if 10 people show up, we don't owe anything.
Exactly.
You know?
We
So
didn't. It
it's
took
better.
it off of us.
And
to
other people said they felt better, not
Good.
feeling like they had to throw $10 in the bucket. They're like, well,
Yeah.
$2, it's fine.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
it easy. It kind of it's the way most things should be.
I movie passed Trailer Wars.
Damn. I
That's
straight
right.
up just snuck in a couple times. Not intentionally. I just realized I hadn't paid. Don't
Yeah.
do that. Or dude, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want. Make a trailer. The evening will probably be again about an hour of whatever we show, whatever we get. So don't tortilla bomb us.
Right. So Wednesday, April 10th.
It's the second Wednesday in April.
At
Trailer
9
Wars is always
p.m. Yep.
traditionally on a Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Exactly. Wednesday at 9 p.m., April 10th is when this will take place. You might, if you were around for Trailer Wars, any of those 7 years that we were doing it, you might think, why are they going to such lengths to announce it? We barely announced when one was happening for the first 50.
Yeah, we were real cocky, snotty punk rock kids back then.
Yeah.
Where we thought if we built it, people would just come.
I don't know if I really thought people would come. It's just that I didn't care if they did.
Yes.
I think it was a matter of like, the minute we had to go out and shake people down more than we already were, it was not worth it. But if we're doing this thing, we might as well let people know about it. So that's why we're going to record some podcasts in the lead up
Yeah.
with some peeps, some veterans of Trailer Wars.
Yeah, do a little bit of reminiscing about the old works that they put together. Maybe kind of see where they're at with filmmaking now, if they're
sure.
doing anything with it.
That's a great idea.
So there'll be some following up episodes to kind of lead into our full event.
So you can expect a few more of these things that we're doing right now. So we've given them the when, the what, the why, kind of. Do we want to talk more about why?
Yeah.
Why not? Fuck you.
It's kind of, I mean, yeah. We, we both saw that this was popping up on the calendar. It was a good opportunity. There was always this kind of wishy-washy, like, even when we were putting it to bed, like, well, we still like doing it. We still want to do it.
But yeah, I think that there are lots of reasons why it died, and they were all valid, and they're all still valid. But I think all of them seem less insurmountable if we're just doing it once.
Yep.
As opposed to every 7 or 8 weeks or what have you.
Yeah, it feels kind of special. It feels kind of maybe you have some pent-up Trailer Wars love inside of you
Yeah,
that you
sure.
want to make something with.
Well, and, are we crazy to think anyone will do this? Do we think anyone will do this?
Potentially, yeah.
The truth is, I don't care if anyone does it because I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna pin my expectations on anyone else.
Yeah.
I'll make something just like any old Trailer Wars. Maybe it's gonna suck. Maybe it won't be what you imagined it would be for participation. I will make something.
That is a good headspace to enter any type of Trailer Wars in. And it's difficult to do because, you want the validation of like winning something or having someone say, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. That's never going to happen.
Right. That's not what this is about.
And
That's
you're not
what
even
this is
going to
about.
make your dream project. You're just going to go through the act of remembering how it felt to flex those muscles, to make something, to edit something, God forbid, to burn it to a DVD. And then you just get to sit back and watch it with your friends. And that's all it needs to be. In fact, you don't even need to do it. You and I are going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I would love to see some familiar faces, maybe some new faces.
That would be great.
I want to make a better effort to reach out than we did when we were in the grind because there was no time.
Yeah.
We have a little time, and I've got a little bit of built-up energy, so I do want to reach out. But if nobody is there to heed the call, that's okay.
That is okay. But maybe that's what this podcast will be, a little SOS to vets or people that stumble upon this and find it interesting. Maybe just word of mouth it, Signal Boost or whatever the fuck kids are doing these days.
Is that a thing? Is that an app?
Yeah. Get on Signal. It's untraceable by the
Okay,
FBI. No, wait,
nice.
we want people to know, so don't. Oh, okay. It's tricky. Yeah, so, reach if you know somebody who's taken a beginning film class at Western or Whatcom, if you just know folks that are kind of interested in flexing their movie making chops and don't have an opportunity or don't want to pay to get into some other kind of festival, it's not that kind of thing. You don't have to do that with us. That's kind of a lot of the details of what we are doing, what we're hoping to do. Do you want to get into kind of reminisce a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Let's a little low level reminiscing here.
Yeah. This is where you put in the "I reminisce over you" like DJ Premier Guru joint.
Okay, right now.
Yeah.
I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October. A toast, but my granddaddy came sober.
There it is. There it was.
A good groove.
Yeah. So this was your idea, though.
It was, but it was
Wars
kind of an
itself was your idea.
exploitative idea because it was me selfishly wanting you guys to make awesome shit that I could watch. And I knew the only way I could do that is if I was like swinging the bat too.
Okay.
So I didn't really have, as probably we all did when we were kids, we're like, oh yeah, I'll make movies one day. And like, that's a strange dream to realize.
Yeah.
I kind of went more of a music route, but I loved making videos with you. And this was coming off of our friends Mikish and Ryan making that movie Balls Out. Me and Swank and Anna had just made this 16mm short called Sisters.
What happened to that thing?
We never finished it.
So, is there any footage lying around?
Swank's got it.
He has
Yeah,
it? I want to see it. Tell him to enter it into Trailer Wars.
That could be hilarious. That's like the one that got away.
Yeah.
Tyler introduced me to you. I saw all these great birthday videos that you were making for your friend.
I had made a few, very small, like one-person audience, vomit-filled videos that were not of any quality, but
they were hilarious to me. And knowing that was something that you could just, decide to do and have the execution to do, I was like, okay, kindred spirit, let's do this. So I think I just challenged you three to a trailer making competition. At that time, it was a 5-minute limit that we exceeded on the first
Jesus
entry.
Christ. A song came on last night that I had used in one early trailer, and I had used the whole song. And even just listening to the full length of the song, I was like, I can't imagine how I filled this 4 minutes, 45 seconds. What could I possibly have been showing during this whole thing?
God, it's such a crash course in like learning what not to do. And that's always been the beauty of it, is that even to the 50th edition, I was realizing this is not how you make a trailer. Ergo, figuring out how to actually make one kind of on accident. And so those early days were rough.
Well, we only had a few people, so I felt like the longer run times was... we were trying to justify inviting anyone over to the house where it was happening.
Yeah.
If there are only 3 and they're each 5 minutes, okay, you got 15 minutes.
That's kind of a program.
It seemed like it was worth stampeding any tasteful time limit at that point.
Yeah, that doesn't fly anymore. But I mean, you and I bonded heavily over kind of taking full authorship of this as an event.
Sure.
Eventually moving it to actual theaters or guerrilla spaces in the meantime. But I really enjoyed how this developed our friendship, in that we were like two people that liked seeing things get done.
Right, yeah.
Where sometimes our friends are like, they want to see things get done, but it's like, who will help me make the bread?
They're not pathologically inclined to get things done maybe the way you and I are.
Yeah, so that united us pretty strongly, and then it kind of just became you and me behind the scenes. It doesn't seem like there's a lot to this because we kind of intentionally designed Trailer Wars to somewhat run itself without us having to foster it.
Sure.
But there was some hands-on stuff and kind of just getting, the date locked in with the theaters or the spaces, not hassling people, but having to kind of babysit a little bit to be able to project what type of participation we'd have, to kind of know what to bank on, how much we'd then have to supplement that with additional material. Yeah. Often you went full bore on that, hosting and making 3 trailers and making an episode of the soap opera we were doing at the time and everything else. So we found our limits, I think, in a lot of ways.
I didn't.
No?
I never found my limit.
No limit soldier.
No limits.
I found my limits.
Can somebody meme that for me? No limit with me on the front.
I found my limits. I realized I hate editing. I kind of only like shooting, or I kind of only like writing ideas. shooting is okay, but I hate scheduling. I hate getting
Oh, yeah.
people places.
I think I only like editing, and
Yeah.
I like thinking about ideas. Like I don't like the writing. You know, sometimes you would show up for Trailer Wars with like a fully sketched out like storyboard and like a script. I like only ever had a shot list that may be handwritten on a napkin or something like that.
Yeah.
I never did that side of the effort, so it was always really impressive to like see your notebook and you're looking at it like, this is what this shot will look like. When I was shooting, I was like, when can I edit? Can I edit now? Can I edit yet?
And so I guess to kind of go back to the original intentions, this was to kind of make a guerrilla film school out of the act of just making short films, trailers, you know, this kind of cutting your teeth in these different departments, because my thinking was eventually I'll be able to hold these people hostage and make them my team of filmmakers.
Oh, right.
Like everyone
Sure,
will kind
sure,
of
sure,
develop
sure.
their specialty. There'll be editors, there'll be music makers, there'll be actors, there'll be directors, and I'll be able to kind of slip a script over to these 30 kind of galvanized workforce people and go, okay, now make me a movie. Which it kind of happened. Eventually we made some short films and stuff.
Yeah. If the problem with that is just that nobody pushed the thing across the table.
Yeah.
Like that was the step that was missing. We had the people.
Right.
We didn't have the thing sliding across the table toward us frequently enough.
Yeah.
And not just to like have people, but I think we, even at like a lower level, not that we're not low level now, because that's the whole point is that it's low level. The idea that a number of us had experiences with other festivals that feel like a bit of a racket, you know?
Yeah.
Like they want you to pay to enter, and then they review, and they tell you if it's good enough, and then you got to pay to go to it.
Yeah.
And everyone in the room's real snobby, and there's politics, and I mean that's like a typical vibe at a festival. I think everybody who makes movies and goes to festivals knows exactly what we're talking about there.
Yeah, it's kind of the most dreaded part of the having to share your thing. It's exciting to have that final cut, but then you have to go through these processes that really kind of suck the enjoyment of it because they're so Hollywoodified.
Yeah, we were trying to do something that was the opposite of that. So
Yeah.
not taking money, not telling you it's not good enough. And
Yeah, make it about learning to do this, and it's a
Right.
school where you are your own teacher.
Right. It is what you make of it,
Yeah.
really. If you want to not learn anything, if you want to aggressively not learn, that's cool too. You don't have to learn anything.
It's the film festival equivalent of like the Evergreen State College.
Sure. And yes, there was a winner, but I think anyone who came to Trailer Wars more than a couple times would have to know that winning Trailer Wars is meaningless.
Yeah.
You receive nothing other than like a woohoo, but all you have to do is bring 5 of your friends to sway the vote.
Right.
Of course we did have a winner. People like to win. There's like it's an aspect of it that people bought into. But I think once they came a couple times, they realized like, oh, well, this is a meaningless victory.
Yeah, the win was really a way for it to self-govern itself because all the win entitled you to was to name the next theme. And so as the victor, then you have a responsibility. You have to
Right.
come up with a theme, and that's so it wasn't us just issuing the theme every time. It got some different creativity on it.
And nobody remembers who won.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nobody, even like going into the next one, people had already forgotten. The memorable things stayed memorable whether or not they won.
Absolutely.
The win was really meaningless, I felt.
And even when we tried to throw together some awards ceremonies, it was always kind of a little tongue-in-cheek of awards because it was kind of to celebrate everybody in every possible aspect. So there was like worst of awards and things like that were very lovingly
Most
issued.
depressing, yeah. Best doorway conversation was one of my favorite categories.
It's a bit of a lark, you know. It's nice to be recognized for the work you put in, but you can't expect that. And I think as everybody's gotten older and more into different careers and stuff, we know how thankless every piece of energy you put into anything is. If you're not enjoying it, you really shouldn't be doing it. And I think Trailer Wars kind of is the thing that taught me that.
It is what you make it. For me, that's going to be, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
I want to burn some of these ideas that we had. When you first pitched me this idea, I said, well, I made all the trailers I ever wanted to make, but they've continued to trickle in. Even today, I was remembering one
Nice.
that I was like, I was gonna do that and I never did.
Nice.
So I just want to get some of these ideas out there, see people again,
Right.
See some asses in the seats. If not everybody makes anything, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm gonna make something, and we'll get together, and maybe there'll be a little bit of a, oh, remember that time
Totally.
that Sean came in and took over the hosting and belligerently yelled about how his thing didn't work out.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to talk more in a future podcast episode about some of these specific in-theater memories.
For sure.
Because I have some really good ones.
That's good. Yeah, I would like to do that. We'll have some guests on that have made trailers. We'll kind of talk about some of the trailers they've made, hopefully, and just get some of their memories as well. But before we kind of wrap things up, we have another little segment that we want to throw in. You want to set this one up?
Yeah, I said when we were going to sit down to do this, I love lists. And I
know you love a list.
Lists. So let's do a list. But I didn't really have a great idea for what that list would be. And Sean said, how about filming locations?
Trailer Wars filming locations.
I think that's a great one because it kind of made me think about, oh yeah, I am going to have to get back out there again.
Right.
I scrolled through my YouTube channel and kind of took inventory of what places I used the most. So yeah, we each came up with a top 5. So how do you want to do this? My vote would be we count down 5, 4,
Let's do
4,
it.
whatever. Okay.
Tit for tat, let's do it.
Yeah, and then we count them down.
Okay.
Do you have yours in the order you want?
I
you
do.
wish?
Yes.
Okay.
I also want to throw in, I have 2 honorable mentions, but I'll
Okay.
throw those at the end of the list.
Yep, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
Go for it.
Okay, my number 5 location is your old house.
Which one?
Sean's house on Humboldt.
Yep.
Was that what it was? Humboldt.
1636 Humboldt Street.
Numerous trailer warriors lived there at various times, but I think you had the longest uninterrupted tenure in that house.
Yeah, for the length of us using it, for sure.
And so filming at your house was never my first choice, but it was often the last resort.
Yes.
So I did a visual count of my YouTube channel, not including the ones that have been taken down for copyright reasons or because the people became a teacher and asked me to take it down or whatever.
Sure.
I counted 10 that were filmed in and around your house. So I mean, your house your lawn was Vietnam.
Yep.
The basement was Antiheroes and Santiheroes.
Yeah.
There was the place where Devin learned how to play Pogs from the master.
Yeah.
I had Alex McKay in your bathtub as the clown, the chainsaw juggling clown.
So frequently we'd find like little remnants of props and things from somebody shooting there, and like there'd be a little ketchup stain or a little noodle here or something, and we'd be like, oh, okay, so.
Yeah, I had Noodles. Noodles was the urethra harvesting.
Yep.
Pregnant cops slammed a perp up against your garage wall. In the garage was all kinds of stuff we filmed in there. So I picked yours for number 5, not just because of that volume, but because it really embodied the, we have nowhere to film, so let's film here. Spirit.
Yeah, and that's a thing that you pretty much run up against immediately when you're trying to actualize any ideas is, well, I don't have access to these rolling hills of Scotland,
Or a
but I've got
courtroom.
the Parkville Elementary School field.
Yeah, there was a rave in your living room for Judge Academy.
Yeah.
That was a good one. It was where the people were burned at the stake for being witches in the 1600s. It was all these things. So what's your number 5?
So my number 5 is the South Hill Lookout Tower. Seaholm Hill.
The Arboretum Tower. Okay.
Exactly. I think we did May Day most exclusively there, where you played May's dad crawling around the forest floor with Amanda.
I want everyone to know I really tried to make out with Amanda for that. I really wanted to I was like, we should be making out. That was my whole goal there, and I did not get it.
Well, maybe in the next episode we'll do a list of attempts to make out with somebody via Trailer Wars. Yeah, I just like that we had some cool production value. You had a nice lookout of the whole city that you could take shots from. There was that tower you could use as all kinds of different things. And then the surrounding forest. It was a nice little, not too far away place to feel like, oh, this is a totally different type of location than someone's house.
Yeah, for sure. My number 4 is a little, it's a lower number of shoots that took place there, but maybe the most memorable one for me, which is Hovander Park in Ferndale.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason that one comes to mind is I only ever filmed one trailer there myself of my own. it was used for the Westerns edition. And at that one moment, there were 3 trailers being shot simultaneously by different directors in Hovander Park. Gold Crush,
Yeah.
Wild Comanches, and The War Wagon. So there were 3 cameras. Like, I remember filming and looking over, and around the corner you had a camera huddled around these like 2 or 3 kind of old looking structures.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Pioneer Park that has old buildings, and we went there too, but we weren't all filming simultaneously. So I'm going with Hovander for that reason.
That's hilarious. That was my number 4 as well. I just didn't remember what it was
really?
called.
Okay.
Yeah. So that day specifically, it was probably like a Sunday. We all had off, and it was like
Right.
the max amount of people we could get there, so everybody could use everybody's extras.
Right, yeah.
And the costuming was all kind of taken care of.
Yep.
It was perfect.
You got some random kid to hold your Bug and Stink sign.
Yeah, that became the logo for a long time. Our MGM lion was this kid looking very disdainful, holding our hand-painted sign. And it felt like a Shaw Brothers backlot or something, just like some really kind of grindhouse kind of like
Yeah.
production thing that I was like, I want every weekend to feel like this. This is so amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so number 3 for me
Yeah.
would be the Pickford Film Center, PFC.
Indeed.
It didn't exist when we started Trailer Wars. It was just the Limelight. And even once it was there, I didn't use it for a time. But for the back half editions of Trailer Wars, I feel like I ended up there more than anywhere else. Filming in the theater, filming in the basement was like a support group thing.
Oh, yeah.
The theater was NASA headquarters. The offices upstairs were the Judge Academy teachers. I mean, we were around that boardroom table many times.
Indeed.
And it just felt like home there. So, yeah, PFC.
Yeah. My number 3 was the parking garage downtown.
Okay.
Which we utilized to great extent. Running up and down those stairs, the upper level, kind of again that nice like panoramic lookout of the whole city. Like
Oh, yeah.
Mother from Calcutta, No Turning Away, like all kinds of trailers utilizing that space in interesting enough ways that when you saw it, you were like, oh, okay, yeah, that's the parking garage. But it helped just feel like you weren't in Bellingham for a minute.
Oh, yeah. I think I was there for No Turning Away, and I did one other one, Toxoplasmosis. We filmed there. I do have a story about No Turning Away. This is a good place to do that, I think.
Yeah.
So we were filming that. It was late at night. It was like, I don't think we started filming until 11 because we were waiting for somebody to get off work at PFC.
Right.
And we went up, and I was wearing this like Mrs. Claus. I was made up to look like an old woman, and you had I had like duct tape over my mouth, and my hands were tied behind my back. And the city employee who was tasked with watching the parking garage drove up in his pickup. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like you and Ryan maybe thought, jig's up, we're done here, and started grabbing the stuff. And I went over to the guy while I'm restrained and said, can we just finish? Can we please just finish? We're not doing anything dangerous or illegal.
Or
just
sexual.
let us. Yeah, and the guy just nodded and drove off, so we got to get that last shot.
Yeah. I think it's the benefit of living in an artsy enough town where shit like that can kind of fly sometimes. I mean, we've been chased out of places, but every once in a while you get the all right, you kids,
Yeah, right.
let you
What did
finish
he
your
do?
dumbass movie.
Yeah. Oh, my number 2 is Western.
Yeah.
So I'm actually including the Arboretum in this for me.
Gotcha.
Because I filmed on campus, I think probably more frequently than you did. Went in there, the sculptures were outer space.
Totally.
The classrooms were courtrooms. We filmed there for it was the Judge Academy.
Yeah.
And then up on the hill, we did in there. We did Whack to Nature and a lot of other trail-based things. So I counted 11 things that I had worked on,
Damn.
either wrote or were in or helped shoot that were on campus and around there. So that's my number 2, Western Washington University.
Yeah, I can think of quite a few. The Bill Nye Is an Asshole trailer was shot up there.
Wickets Apart was up there.
It was so nice to have access to the campus because we were kind of college age looking. We weren't,
Sure.
many of us weren't, but you could run in there and just film in the library or whatever and totally kind of take advantage of the open classrooms and the open door policy of the campus. We weren't ever doing anything that bad, but certainly things that anywhere else someone would be like, get the fuck out of here.
I always felt better if we had just one person in the crew who was a student.
Right.
I do have one Western shoe filming story, and that is one that some people have probably heard if you're a Trailer Was Lifer, which was Nathan Cox and I went into the library basement bathroom, and he had an entire idea for a Western trailer that revolved around these saloon-style swinging doors that went into a bathroom stall.
Perfect.
And we went in there, and he was showing me, follow me with the camera. I'm going to walk through the saloon doors like this. And he burst through the saloon doors, and there was a guy taking a shit in there. And because of he had even checked for feet, but because of the way the stall is made, it was kind of off to the side, and he hadn't locked it. So the saloon door hits the guy who's on the toilet, who immediately is like trying to shield himself, and we just say, sorry.
Holding a camera and dressed like a cowboy.
Holding a camera. And we just went out in the hallway and waited. I'm surprised we didn't go further away, to be honest. But we waited, and he came out and said, "Look, you guys scared me." And we're like, "Yeah, sorry." So that was a good one. All right, that was my number 2, Western.
My number 2 is the 20th century bowling alley basement.
Ooh, that was a contender for me.
Yeah, we shot, some Bay Cove down there, but my favorite one was shooting System Error down there because it looks like a post-apocalyptic wasteland because there's just a pile of junk room.
Yeah.
There's a nice long corridor with all these little separate rooms. There's like creepy dolls down there. There's old broken video games.
Oh, yeah.
That bowling alley has been a lot of different things, from like hosting a daycare center to having like all ages straight edge shows there. So it kind of feels that way when you go down into the kind of subterranean levels. Like, oh, I'm in like the tunnels of Bellingham.
Oh, yeah.
So we utilize that to great extent.
I filmed 2 things down there.
Which were?
Standoff 1, Standoff 2. That's it.
Yeah, it's excellent. Like, it was just like, again, another, like, where the fuck are we going to shoot this? And if we could get our friend Bo to, like, let us in.
Right, yeah.
We could kind of get away with murder.
That's how we got a Do Wrangler credit on the Standoff film.
Yeah.
We had a Do Wrangler from upstairs.
Get me my do.
Yeah. My number 1 is the Civic Field Park Trail.
Totally.
You might, if you're a Bellingham local, you might say, what is that exactly? It's the parks next to the Jerry Fields. There's a specific trail that goes parallel to Moore Street, and I used that many times because I lived right there.
It was essentially your backyard.
Yeah, for as long as I lived there, it was the outdoors. It was the prehistoric times. It was a fantasy land. It was France. It was, I counted 13, just that I could think of offhand, trailers that were filmed, at least in part, right there. So that would be it. And I haven't been there since. Why go back now? I don't live there, and it's got nothing for me, but I will be back there.
I'm sure you will, yeah.
It would be on the Universal Studios Backlot Trailer Wars tour. Yeah.
That's what we'll have to do when this fails. The 10th anniversary goes tits up. We'll have to just be like, okay, let's get a golf cart and let's make people take this Trailer Wars tour. If we yell in their face with a megaphone.
We pretended like it was a beer tour where they have to pedal, one of those stupid things, and then it's like, fuck you, we're going to the bowling alley basement.
We're going to Bum Beach. That is really good. My number 1 has to be the Hampton Place house, otherwise known as Shannon's house, otherwise known as Anna's mom's house.
The original location of the very first Trailer Wars.
The bunker.
The Dannon house.
Yeah.
The Dannon family home. Yeah, there was some stuff made there for sure.
Pretty much that's the only place we did anything for like a long time.
For quite a while.
So it was our friend's mother's home, who was very in support of us doing this crazy, insane thing.
Yeah.
But also letting us host the first handful of screenings there. So have a group of people in the living room, put a sheet up and get a projector and actually watch these things. But then the house was just always in massive disarray due to like 7 people coming in and out there who lived there, but also to me just leaving trailer remnants and messes all over the house, living room, garage, backyard, that little shack in the back and everything.
Yeah.
Like the backyard, when it got like remodeled, became like my feudal Japan for my Lady Snowblood-esque trailer.
I got stabbed in the face for Last Girl.
Yeah,
back there.
Exactly. The basement was the wind.
The wind.
Yeah.
It was also the Kim Dan. What was it called? Kim Dan Mem was the name of the prison in Bay Cove Terrace, the Kimberly Dannon Memorial Prison. Telepathy, the musical, was there. There were some Spice World there.
For sure.
Lots of those red walls in the backgrounds of
Yeah.
all those early era things.
It's the type of thing that me and Anna have joked several times about making a Trailer Wars comp tape of stuff that's been filmed there and then drop it on the porch
my
of the people that
God,
live there now.
yes.
Just like couch 6, me fucking a couch, and then like, well, what? Oh my God, that's our house! Like,
Oh, that's such a great idea.
the
I
creepiest,
really love
most Lynchian thing
Yeah.
you can do to someone.
that. Would be on the tour for
Yeah,
sure. On
for
the
sure.
on the fake beer tour. So yeah. No, that's good. That's a good one. And that was an honorable mention for me, and the bowling alley was too. Those were my 2 honorable mentions.
Excellent. My honorable mention was the BHS field, which we kicked off that first zombie trailer that we did because
Oh yeah.
it was a high school like zombie movie, kind of like a Juno type thing, and to just be able to walk onto a field and have like a big scoreboard,
Yeah.
and like goalposts and everything. It was like, there's your production value. It's literally in your backyard, and we shot it on a Sunday where nobody was there, so we used that parking lot a lot to like do a lot of fake vomit.
Yeah, there were lots of man that trailer we did with the vomiting all over Bellingham. That some of that was at Civic.
Right.
There was puke all over the place.
Pretty epic spot. And then my final honorable mention would be the alley that I still refer to as Trailer Wars Alley, right between the Wild Buffalo, Bayou on the Bay or whatever, off Holly Street there. There's this alley that for so long, there was all these just epic kind of like outdoor like crime alley shots in
Oh, yeah.
everybody's trailers that had this alley.
Yep, I think the first time I saw it in one, well, you might have used it for the protest scene in your zombie one, maybe. But the first time I think I saw it and was like, oh, that's an alley that I need to go to was Funky Dynamite,
Yeah.
the Chunky Dynamite alley
For
from
sure.
the second edition. Yeah.
Devin used that for his Western as well.
Yeah. Palm full of quarters.
Yeah, exactly. And anytime it popped up, I was just like, yep, that feels good. Because it's just like that kind of familiar thing of like, oh, they use that costume or that prop in Star Wars or whatever. And now it's
Right.
in this other, like,
Yeah.
that kind of shit I love. And that spot was perfect for that.
I could do a whole 10-episode podcast series about the Scary Spice wig. And
Let's talk about top uses of wigs.
Top uses of wigs will be a future list.
All right, good.
Okay, well, I think we did what we set out to do, which was announce what we're doing here.
Totally.
Trailer Wars 10th anniversary, April 10th, Wednesday, 9 p.m.
Pickford Film Center.
Yeah, works like a regular Trailer Wars always did, with the theme of one that got away, idea that got away, unproduced idea. What's your idea that you got?
Yeah.
So you bring that 3 minutes or less on a DVD. Send us an email, maybe, trailerwars@gmail.com, that says what it's called, just so we can put you on the ballot. It's not because we're judging you. It's because we want to make sure you're on the poster or the thing or whatever.
Yeah. There's maybe a little bit of to be announced as far as if we'll use both screening rooms or just one. Maybe that would be even something we could get a little feedback on. I know sometimes people are into that and sometimes people are not into that. But if it's a big enough crowd, we're going to need to do it. So
Sure.
we'll figure that out as it gets closer to time. Anyway, tell your friends.
Yep, we'll be doing another one of these at some point. We're going to keep doing these little things until it happens.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.